In this part, with considering the sections that we worked on, we will finalize some of those sections and edit them, design them to see what will be the end result. If you guys remember, we've done a swimming pool section with an oblique line and a very simple curve, and we created the area for our swimming pool. We had an spectator section which was elevated, but this time we'll make it a little higher so we'll have more areas. So we will bring it a little higher, and I'm starting to design my spectator section, bring it down, make it somehow that we have more areas here. In the upper section, we come down vertically, we need to design the bottom part of this. It can come down with the same slope and close the area. We create a section here. Now, with consideration of the sizes, if you look, my figure is going to be this height, and I can elevate my figure and put it in the void here in middle. So this is my spectator dot, like I'm standing on a ladder. So if you remember the effect of this, whenever I want to put my other figures, this will impact on them quite hugely. So let's continue my corners to my escape point. Just rotate your page so you're easy and your lines are smooth and clean, and there is no pressure on your hand. And we will do the spectator section, the same thing. Sitting areas, also the same, do them very cautiously. Like this, we have this. So now we do the same for bottom to make our flooring. We'll indicate our swimming pool area like this. Send a line to our escaping point and specify the height of swimming pool. Again, we send this part to our escape point. And let's divide this area. Have a line here, we'll draw the second line, and from the top of it, we'll connect to the middle. Again, from the top to the middle, we have the fourth line. From the top to middle, we got the fifth line. So we did this like this. We connect them to the bottom. So we separated this part in a structural view. We will continue our flooring from this part. I like to make our structure a little thicker. And so we make these lines like this. Look like this, we created a different structural area. I like to add some structural element on my ceiling and give a little movement in our structure. I can continue these divisions to our ceiling, continue them with the same slope, just like this, and we continue to the ceiling with the same slope. And we create an area like this. We will connect our vanishing lines like this. Don't limit yourself when you're drawing. So what I'm going to do is to design some areas in a structural point. I can thicken some areas here like this. Again, here also. like this. Now I can change the lines between them even. For example, this line can give it depth and it can enter some areas, or it can create a fake ceiling or move it higher. Look, I'm moving it higher. This one, like this. One escape point. All of them need to be parallel. Connect them like this. As you can see, like a fake ceiling, they are going inside. Let's hatch these areas a bit. Just so easily, we have our ceiling. In this area, also the same, we'll send a vertical line to our vanishing point, and I will design some light over there. Turned out like this. And now if you pay attention to our spectator area, as you can see, the size of my spectator is double of the area that I put for my spectator section. So I will put my figures in this area next to each other. When you want to design your spectators, put them together, and as you can see, the heads are in one line. We do the same on the top. As you can see, I'm not drawing legs, I'm just drawing the body, because they are at the same size. When I'm doing it, after that I will draw the heads and arms. So we've did a very crowdy area, probably it's festival or tournament. Sometimes added to hands and such, so your spectator area will show itself. We can draw legs for the people in front. And as you can see, with two lines, I'm showing this. You can hatch some of them in middle of them to give it a little different feeling. Like this. So I will add a fence here for the whole area. I'll just add a little hatch to it to show it a little better. We do it really fast. And then separated this area for me. We can add some people standing behind our fence. So we have this area, and from the other side I can add it exit and opening. Just a couple of doors. If you go horizontally inside and do some vertical lines, it can turn into an opening. So with just a little hatch, I'm shaping this area. And the notch under my ceiling. So let's move to our swimming pool. We will consider the height of water till here, send it to our vanishing point, and inside our swimming pool, if I want to do some figures or some lines for our tournament, and then I can consider this part as a platform and place my figures on the tournament's platform so they can dive in. Always when you're working, consider everything together. As you can see, this is my figure that is standing here. here. But later on I need to use the blue color for our water to show itself a little better. So for my flooring, as much as I know if we come outwards it's more open, it's enough for me. The same technique that I taught you for its measurement is enough. But as you saw, I didn't use it. Sometimes when it's too important for me, I will do it. The moments that I want my measurement to be really precise. Let's consider this as an area. We can go one step back. And move a little to our vanishing point to create some material difference. I'll make it window and we add a little horizontal hatch here so the material on top of it will be separated. As you can see, with a very simple section that I did for you guys, we added some details patiently. It will shape our form really good, and the story behind our sections will change, and you see the shape will tell you stories. When I specify my ceiling and my flooring and we added details to it, it will tell you a lot of stories. So I like to see outside area, but my ground level can be here, and I don't need to necessarily put it higher because the viewpoint that we are using is not necessarily the viewpoint of a spectator. My spectator is on the second floor. Pay attention to the behind of this area. You can see a line, another line, and I will add some trees here. That I show the trunk here. If this part is glass, it's a different story. If it's an open area, then it's another story, and it can happen like this. Like this. So I will design some figures next to them, and if the size of it is correct, and send it to your vanishing point and edit the rest of them just a little taller. Don't forget to add your shadows. Just a light shadow next to it, so the area will represent itself. And if you agree, let's add some color to it to see how it will turn out. If you remember, it was like this, and we added some details to it, and it turned out like this. And let's see how it will turn out. With just some stains, we want to finish this design. I will start with blue and green stains to see how the area will turn out. So let's do it with a light green. Add some stains. Look, the moment that I'm adding my green stains, you start to see the structure in front of it. Which means if I'm putting a stain of color there, I'm making the area. And this area is starting to show itself. So let's add some highlight to it. and differentiate our structure from the greenery outside. If you remember, in markers, you always move from light to dark. Whether you want to use it, color pencil, marker, whatever, move from light to dark. And do not do it the opposite. Let's add some yellow, do some lighting. Adding a little lighting on some edges, in some areas that is going outside, even inside our water as reflection. On our ceiling, the same. If we have lighting inside this area, we will add some yellow stains to show it. Let's use a natural color to color my areas. Let's use something like CG color series to add some stains in these areas. Look closely at how much these stains help to show the design better. Do it on your perspectives and on your angles, so they will specify themselves. Verticals will be our reflections, and we should move them to our escape point. Look, I used CG number 3. We can use CG number 5 now. Let's see even if I have it. Even if I don't have it, I can use CG number 7. Let me check the color of it. We have CG number 3 and oh, that one was green-gray. For continuing, let's use BG and do the continuance with a mixture of those. And let's not be too sensitive about it. The colors are a bit close to each other. So I have CG number 4 here, and I'm going to use it. I will darken under my surfaces. Again, we do some stains on them. As you can see, we do colors on them multiple times, so they show themselves much better. Inside our holes, inside the structure, I can even darken my structure. But if I'm afraid if I do that, I will ruin this view of greenery. But in general, we should do it. So I did that with just a couple of stains. So this is like this, super classy. Making a floor like this. Change the angles a bit. Do some vertical lines. Add some stains on our figures. Again, on our walls. As you can see, I'm doing it really easy, so just be at ease, don't stress yourself. I can put emphasis on my walls to give it a little depth. Usually you should darken the end of your perspective so you can see the ending of your design, and it will completely get a depth to it. Maybe you're a little afraid to do it, but do it anyway. I'm doing the shadow of the building on the ground. Shadows of my trees. And we need some touch of black and blue. For our blue, I'm choosing 302 with Q color marker, which is a really good color. Do some verticals for our reflection and horizontal to show the waves and show this movement. On the window, I can add some scene of blue. And do not forget to use black. And always use some pure black in your work. And some places, when you want to emphasize it, do it with pure black. It will help your work to be seen better. As you can see, when I'm highlighting the ceiling of my structure, it will make your eye roll to the other side. Inside holes, some areas, allow it to happen. Even make some shadows with dark. As you can see, it's giving depth to our work. And we are showing our space. And in general, we can edit some white stains in our work. To give a little contrast and give it a better mood. And as much as we added detail, maybe add some darker areas in our blue. Added a white color for my water, I can add some darker colors on it. Use different colors with just, some stains. I can do some reds on my spectators and put it there and here. And it can happen everywhere that you want. And as you can see, perspective that we had on the other episode, we could do a fast sketch with it and turn it to an acceptable thing. Be sure to do that and share your results with me. So for example, if it needs a correction, we will do it together. But this will help you to be a better designer. So when you learn to use this ability to design structures from sections and use this technique, designing door will open on you. And that will help you to line much better. Again, in future videos, I will do this type of example and technique that you will be able to master interior one-point perspective.